Today on Marketing Update, Facebook acquires Instagram for $1 billion, Chicago police use social media, and Starbucks gets it wrong. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome to the Marketing Update, your trusted source for what's hot and what's not in the world of marketing. I'm Ellie Mirman.
And I'm Andrew Quinn, and we're coming to you live from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
As you can see, we are not Karen Rubin and Mike Volpe.
No, I'm going to attempt to channel my inner Karen Rubin, though.
It's true. Andrew is the Karen of the show. You should be prepared. As many of you know, Karen is expecting a little bundle of Reuben, I don't know, this summer.
Delightful. So
we're going to be filling in for the summer shows for the Marketing Update. We're pretty excited about it.
I'm excited.
Yes. Thanks. So you'll be seeing a lot more of us, so you got to get used to it. Of course, as usual, interact with us on Twitter. The hashtag is MKTGUp. This is our first live broadcast episode, and of course, that was the one sign I forgot to print. So, MKTGUp, all the words you need there. Old episodes are on iTunes. We love 5-star reviews, especially for this episode. We want more, Ellie and Andrew. And everyone's welcome to come by the show. We love having an audience because you guys give us our energy. Got lots of people. That's good.
Well, let's get down to business, Ellie.
Great job illustrating the energy.
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
Ellie, it's time to get down to business. Marketing business.
All right, our first story, Facebook acquires Instagram for $1 billion. That was, of course, the talk of the town this week. Instagram, the photo sharing app for your phone, got bought by Facebook for $1 billion. Pretty crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yep. So, as many of you know, it's a photo sharing app. You snap a picture with your phone, and you can apply all sorts of filters, share it with your friends, post to other social media sites. Really, really simple product.
Do you use it, Ellie?
I do. I love all the little filters. And
what do you like about it?
Well, it's really just good at one easy, simple thing. It just takes photos and applies cool filters.
And when cool filters are applied, is cool photos happening? What's the story? I mean, tell me.
It's telling a visual story. It's telling a visual story.
And visual content's great, right?
Especially on Facebook, so no wonder they'll snap them up. So one of the cool things was Instagram's a tiny company, 13 people. And they're
on Friday the 13th, no less.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's a special Friday the 13th episode about 13 employee company. And they came out with this really simple product, launched back in October of 2010, and was one of the few real competitors to Facebook in terms of photo sharing. Right? I share a ton of photos on Facebook, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Really do.
So it's really incredible story around a small company making a big splash. Some say that Facebook actually paid too much for them, but other people, on the flip side are saying Instagram sold out by going to Facebook. Either way, amazing story of a small company really hitting it off.
So what's the takeaway on that one?
So we actually have two takeaways.
Oh.
Our first takeaway is solve for the user, not the competition. Classic thing we say here around HubSpot, it's not about Facebook, right? If Instagram had said, we want to beat Facebook, I imagine that would have been a crippling idea. They're so huge. But they solved for the user. They built a really simple, engaging product, and they did really well. And then our second takeaway, more for the marketers watching the show, visual content does really well on Facebook. And so think about how you can tailor your content not just to your audience, but also the channel for the best results.
Excellent.
All
Very,
right.
very big story.
Yes.
Not as big as the one I'm about to share, though.
Oh, more social media news.
More social media news. And Ellie, I'm debating, should I actually do this one in a 1930s announcer voice?
That would be great!
I think perhaps I should, because the Chicago police are using social media to find scofflaw food trucks.
Big news.
Big news. So we all know how popular food trucks are. They become extremely popular around the United States. Around here we've got Clover Food Labs.
Love
we've
Clover.
got Roxy's grilled cheese sandwiches. We've also got Kick-Ass Cupcakes.
I had no idea.
A cupcake truck, imagine.
Yeah.
Awesome. And one of the things about the explosion of food trucks, it's really driven by social media, because in a lot of ways, the challenge with these sort of old style and food trucks was how do you figure out where they are? Social media allows them to do that. They can easily broadcast, here's where we're going to be. We're going to be here for an hour. Come see us. We're going to be at the next place for the next hour. What's interesting is Chicago food truck operators are finding that social media is actually putting them squarely in the sights of Johnny Law.
Watch out.
Exactly. The reason being is Chicago actually has really restrictive ordinances on food delivery. You can't prepare food in trucks, and you're not supposed to park within 200 feet of a restaurant. So what's interesting is the Chicago police have gotten social media savvy, and they're actually using social media to track food truck movements. Chicago Sun-Times reported they're actually intercepting them on their way to different locations. It's very Minority Report.
Andrew had to print that out for me.
You
I was
remember
like, wait, what?
Tom Cruise. Yes, exactly. So if you think about that, like Minority Report, they were, it was a movie where they were, in a sense, stopping crime before it happened. They were using tools to sort of predict who would do what and then arresting them before they actually did anything. And that's what's happening over in Chicago.
Using social media.
Who would know that the future of that sort of pre-crime thing is happening with social media and food trucks? Very, very interesting. So one of the things to think about is that, for better or worse, social media really is getting adopted by larger audiences. That includes the man. So you really need to think about that and what it means for your business, because a lot of different audiences are listening in. It could be the police, it could be your competition, it could be your customers, it could be your prospects. A very important marketing takeaway right there.
Indeed. Well done.
Thank you.
Well said, Andrew.
Yes, thank you, Ellie.
All right, so covering our bases for social media, we've already talked about Facebook and we've talked about Twitter. Let's talk about LinkedIn, launching robust targeting and reporting. Who doesn't love that?
I love robust targeting.
Exactly. So this week, LinkedIn started rolling out a new feature for company page admins, letting people do targeted updates and get more follower statistics. So the idea is you can post status updates to your company page, but now you can actually target it based on things like location or job function or industry, all sorts of different things about your followers. And then it'll show up only for the people who actually fit that criteria in terms of when they first log into LinkedIn. You also get all sorts of fun statistics in terms of how many people you targeted, how many impressions you got, shares, engagement, all that fun stuff.
Marketers love data, don't they?
It's true.
Absolutely.
I know that you folks didn't get to see a secret episode that Andrew and I hosted, but we did talk a lot about big data because marketers love big data.
I love big data.
It's true. It's true. So, more data coming to you from LinkedIn. In addition to all the update metrics, you also get follower metrics, things like demographics and engagement, new followers over time, all sorts of fun metrics so you can learn more about who's actually following you on LinkedIn. And actually, according to a study that they did with some of their early targeted updates, they found that you'd get a 66% increase in terms of your engagement if you use these targeted updates. So, better results using better data. And
engagement really is the name of the game, Ellie.
It's true. You might see a little theme going on there. So the marketing takeaway here, use tools like LinkedIn's new company page features to learn more about your audience and tailor content to them.
So let's take it from new media to old media.
Indeed.
Yes. So what's interesting here is AT&T has decided to sell off its Yellow Pages business. And you may say, well, why would that matter to us inbound marketers? I've got an angle.
We've got the expert here in terms of Yellow Pages.
In fact, I actually spent 16 years, painful years, in the Yellow Pages business, and now I live in the light of inbound marketing. It's very exciting. What's interesting, so the Yellow Pages unit for AT&T actually shrank 30% in revenue in 2 years. 30%. Yeah, in fact, when I was at Verizon, they spun off the Yellow Pages unit in 2006. Fortunately, I had left right around that point, but it went bankrupt 3 years later. Maybe because I wasn't there. But anyway.
Sinking ship, you decided to
Yeah, exactly. You got to go. You got to go where the future is. And in a lot of ways, it's been in decline for a decade. What's interesting is it's really created a challenge for local businesses because really for decades, all they had to do was put ads in the book, their phones would ring, and they'd get business. And in a lot of ways, that's gone. But one thing to think about, in a lot of senses, the dynamics of the Yellow Pages is very similar to the dynamics of inbound marketing. Because in a lot of ways, your phone book sat on your shelf and you didn't use it until it was time to actually make a buying decision. And you would go start searching out information when you're ready to buy. In a lot of ways, inbound marketing actually reacts in the same way. Consumers' buying behavior hasn't really changed. They go looking for the right information when it's time to buy. So as a small business, since you can't rely on the book anymore, it really makes sense to embrace content creation. You create content that really responds to the way in which your consumers want to buy and make buying decisions. And once you start fueling that, the need or the problem of the lack of that medium really starts to go away for you. And we've seen that with a lot of customers that have embraced inbound marketing and used it for locally based businesses. So in a lot of ways, there's really no need to lament the fact that you can't put an ad in the phone book anymore and just sort of publish and pray and hope that your phone rings. Start a blog. Start creating content that answers your customers' questions, and believe me, that phone will ring, and you'll be a really successful local marketer. So another key takeaway relative to driving additional local business, Ellie, and creating customer engagement on a local level.
Yeah. Actually just made the connection to the food trucks, also local businesses.
Exactly.
Using social media.
Correct.
Taking the bull by the horns right there.
It's very exciting.
All right. Now, some more cross between old media and new media. YouTube getting pay-per-view? WTF. So, YouTube announced that it's going to allow partners to monetize some live streaming services they have
Are we
now.
talking about like cage fighting and that type of stuff, Ellie?
I guess. Is that what you would watch, Andrew?
Yes, sweaty men fighting in cages. It's very exciting for me. I like that.
That might be the one live streaming successful story for YouTube.
Maybe.
So, something to consider right there. You know, YouTube was so huge. It changed the way that people were publishing content, sharing different types of content because it was video, letting artists go up there, really anyone start to publish video content, and it changed dramatically for so many businesses. And so it seems a little weird that they're going a little bit backwards now. You know, on the one hand, they're allowing people to publish awesome video content, even live content, live streaming content, but now they're overlaying this interruption-based advertising on top of it. So partners can run ads on top of their content, or they can even make it pay-per-view so that you have to pay to watch whatever they're streaming.
I mean, I get the idea. I just can't see myself sitting there surfing for, you know, fail videos or whatnot, and then going, oh, I could stream this live thing and sit here for another half an hour. Let me grab my wallet and pay for it. I just don't see that coming together.
Yeah, it's YouTube has a lot of short videos, attention spans are crazy short, and then on top of that, people are used to it being free.
Right.
Even within the comments of these articles, people were saying, really, YouTube, I'm not gonna pay for anything on YouTube. So it seems a little bit backwards. It also is a little crazy because YouTube's all about giving you another medium to be the content instead of the advertising. And now they're overlaying advertising on top of that content. Seems a little bit backwards there. So it seems like they were moving in the right direction and then went a little bit backwards there. So the marketing takeaway here is publish content that engages your audience. Be the content, not the advertising that tries to interrupt them. All right.
So we'd like to introduce a new feature into Marketing Update. Yes.
Well done.
It is indeed the marketing fail of the week.
Woo! Yeah.
Yes.
This is a new segment because we can learn from others' failures.
Absolutely. Learn from your mistakes.
And this week's fail, Starbucks. We're very sorry.
They're calling you names, and you better like it.
Yeah.
So, in a lot of ways, we live in an age of personalization, right? Marketers try really hard to create one-on-one connections with customers, right? You can get customized cards, you can buy customized pants. There's all stuff that can be designed just for you.
Do you get customized pants?
I don't actually, but I know some people here that do, and they look fabulous.
All right, something to learn from. All right.
So Starbucks rolled out an initiative recently, and it really did go from Frappuccino to Crappuccino. And it really started, Starbucks was giving away free cups of coffee if you told them your name. And what they would do is write your name on the cup. And then you'd have your cup, which they would present to you, and it's your coffee, as opposed to yelling out, you know, mocha, latte, double, calf, half calf, latte, skim thing.
You are not your coffee.
No, I'm definitely not my coffee. So what was interesting is it was all about the barista writing the name on the cup. So a lot of marketing publications actually praised the company's intentions of trying to personalize the brand and all that kind of stuff. But once the personalization campaign started, things got a little funky.
Don't want funky in your coffee.
No, and it's really where Starbucks left a bitter taste in their customers' mouths. Ah, you're with me now. The baristas did a horrible job spelling people's names. So there were things like
crazy.
Grin for Corrine, Hatal for Katie, Seth for Steph. I mean, dropping a letter, but yet gender shifting. I mean,
some of the names weren't actually names.
No,
Quinn?
there was
really?
a guy got a cup that said "Big Dick" written on it, and there's actually a picture of it. It's legit.
That was the headline of the story.
Maybe he was a
really.
tall man named Richard. I don't know. So, you know, once that happens, obviously, what happens when you start seeing stuff like that, Ellie?
Oh, you take out your phone and you take a photo of that.
Instagram, see, wrapping it all back together again. So people snap pictures, the Tumblrs started getting spun up. There's even a Starbucks name generator that's popped up. You type in your name and it gives you some random odd thing coupled to your name. So really, the thing we'd really like you to think about and the takeaway from this particular story is that if you're going to attempt to personalize your brand, just make sure the people that you have executing the personalization strategy are trained to do it right. People hate it when you get their name wrong. You don't want to make it personal if you can't pull it off. I mean, think about email marketing, Ellie, right?
These are like the best fails ever, and of course we forward them around the company.
Absolutely.
Anytime you get an email that says, "Hi, first name, how are you doing today?"
Right, or "Hi, Daphne," when your name's Ellie.
Right.
Like, that's just not good. There's no excuse for it. So make sure if you're going to personalize, get it right.
Yep. Absolutely, right there.
Indeed.
All right, so we do have a little bit on Twitter. Corey Boss is saying, "I hope we get to hear the new impression from Dr. Quinn every episode this summer."
Oh, I can definitely make that happen.
Yes. Can you do a whole episode just in that voice?
I think I could, Ellie. I could read the whole thing just like I was from 1938. It's going to be awesome.
Typewriter? Right up here?
We could do that. Little sound effects from our team.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. We're so fancy here. We've got
We
like
are,
all sorts of technology.
We're very fancy.
Yeah.
I'm fancy. Just look at me.
It's true. All right. So we had a lot of great stories this week around engagement and using social media to engage your audience. So the marketing tip this week, learn more about your audience and create content that engages them. Or as the oatmeal says, because we had to get this story in, less marketing douchebaggery, more tanks. This was a story that we wanted to squeeze into the show. It was a great post by the Oatmeal on how to get Facebook likes. And there's a great thing. You should read the whole thing. The link is in the show notes.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's great. We spent, while we were prepping for the show, we just stopped and we read it, laughed. It was great. And
it was a moment. It was a moment.
There was a moment. So, and it's all about how, you know, you go in with the social media strategy. That's all about like, oh, please like me, please, 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 I beg you, please
Click my
like
like
me.
button. Click it.
Right
Click
here, right
it.
here, it's right there. And it just sounds so desperate. And that's not how you try to interact with people.
And how do you do it? You focus on being more likable.
Exactly.
It's really what it's all about.
You want to get liked? Be likable. And the post itself was awesome for that too, right? It was great content, and it did really well on Facebook and Twitter. We got multiple emails about it. It went all over the place.
So once again, less marketing douchebaggery, more tanks. Indeed.
Well done.
Well, Ellie, that was a lot of marketing business.
It was a lot of marketing business.
It's cocktail time. What are you doing this weekend after the show?
This weekend, well, first I'm going to be interviewing a CMO. I'm doing a series of interviews with CMOs.
That's exciting.
To learn
Where's that
more
going
about
to
their
be?
Jobs. Oh, right here. You
Okay,
know, on
cool.
the phone.
Nice.
CMOs
Sounds
are
awesome.
busy.
And
Yeah.
is that the whole weekend?
A whole weekend. Oh, I'm going to go see a friend who just got engaged, celebrate a little bit with her. That'll be fun.
Friendly celebrations are always fun.
Yeah, how about you?
I am actually going to be rocking the Cougars
Oh.
in Billerica, Massachusetts. We're talking snakeskin miniskirts and tall hair.
And what are you going to be wearing?
Inappropriate clothing that laces up very tightly.
I've seen photos of some leather
Yes,
pants. Just saying.
exactly. Exactly. It will be awesome. So I'm looking forward to that, and a few cocktails. It's going to be a delight. So I hope you all enjoyed our debut episode of Marketing Update. We will see you next time.